Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Power Couple Quickie.
Yes.
Yours truly, Eugene and Andrea, the builder and the navigator.
Not the navigator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Switching
The builder and the...
You don't know what I am? The builder and the educator.
The educator.
Helping you navigate life's most important goals. Your relationships.
Hey, everybody. So today's Power Couple Quickie.
We've been having some thoughts as we were, hey, cousin. Hey, Trisha. That's my sister.
Yeah. So today's Power Couple Quickie is dealing with building legacy in a war zone.
Yeah. And, we talk to couples all the time. And it's amazing how much... What was the subtopic? The subtopic
is civility in the home.
Right, restoring it.
Restoring
civility in the home. And the thing that we found is we run often into a lot of Black couples that have very powerful visions for their families. And we love it because when we see someone that's like, I'm here to build legacy, like you're talking our thing, you are saying our thing. But then we find out, like as we're talking and stuff, we'll start asking questions like, hey, do y'all say goodbye and check the house? Like, do y'all say goodbye before you leave the house?
Exactly. So, like, when I'm talking as well with you in these particular these settings with these couples that are like really engaged and want to, restore the communication. It's surprising, like you're saying, it's just the small things that are kind of tripping us up. It's like, okay, we have these real big dreams that we want to establish these real amazing legacies and just go forward with all this vision, but we lose sight of just the common civility of, like you were just saying, like when we get up in the morning, saying good morning, or when we're going to bed, saying good night, or like when it's time to check the house, or leaving the house.
And it's like, it's such a small thing. It's small, but it's not small because we got these big old visions. We're talking about, I want my kids to grow up in a household where it's that. And we get really traumatized because maybe our personal, our romantic partnership doesn't seem to be working the way we want. And so now it's like all is lost. But I because look, we don't try to force somebody to be in relationship, but we do say, the way that you're leaving legacy, that doesn't have to be something that's all lost, even if your relationship is not what you want it to be. Your children, I don't know, I'm old school. Well, when we had to get up in the morning, even with our kids, you don't walk past nobody without speaking, and you got to be the one to greet the older folks in the house. Now that's a little old school. I get it, but it's the way I grew up. Did you greet the elder? Did you talk? Did you wake up and not say good morning?
See,
but our kids, when they're not seeing that, they're missing some things. And when we're going through hard times, when we're going through challenges, and we do stuff like I'm not saying, I don't speak to him. We leave the house, all that stuff. Don't say nothing. I don't know. Your daddy gone? Yeah, he left like 10 minutes ago, Mama.
And didn't say nothing to nobody.
Didn't say nothing.
And then when we do that, guess who else does that? The kids do that. And then we're expecting to build a foundation on that. And it's funny, it's like when we talk about building legacy, it's surrounded around like indigenous principles.
Yeah.
We have to be careful that we don't get caught up with a lot of the Western culture ideas of what family ought to be, and being so caught up in the whirlwind of what's happening around us, when we just should really stay close in home to just some of the principles and common courtesies that we were brought up with. And those are just the small ideas that we just kind of wanted to bring out there as it relates to building legacy, because whatever we establish and whatever we do and whatever we practice from day to day is that thing that is going to be moved on through our children, and then what they're going to be taking on to their children. We have to be very careful.
So in simple words, what are we saying? How can you start restoring this civility in the home? Listen, you don't have to want to talk to them about love. You don't have to like this spouse. You don't have to anything.
You don't have to get all deep and
but you can get up in the morning and you can let your good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing okay today?
I'm doing good.
Great. I don't have to get deep with him. I don't even have to like him right now.
That's right.
And
that's a good one.
Yeah. And hey, Nita Boo. Hey, Steven. And the thing that I always say is,
because you gotta do it at work.
You do. So you have this.
Now you don't
life,
have to, but you choose to do it.
If you're gonna move forward in life, those things matter, and we forget when we are so busy just at this person. And I'm not saying be fake. I'm saying you are modeling legacy for your children. Whether you are, I just love him.
Teach.
I just love him, and I don't like him like that all the time.
Not all the time.
Come on.
No.
But there is still civility. There's still stuff that I'm like, I want to model this. And the thing, can I bring up the thing about just the business aspect?
You have to.
Okay. Listen, I tell, when we talk to couples, we say it just like this. People disagree. People, choose the spiritual. It's fine. It's good. But anyone who's been married and then gotten a divorce or contemplated it, understood that at the end of the day, that
it's a contract.
It's a contract. Now, we don't have to say it's not a covenant. Whether you choose to covenant with your partner is your choice.
Teach, doctor.
Okay, you can covenant with somebody and never make a contract. But people often make a contract because when they finish with that, then they're like, I want to benefit from having joined with you. Who goes into their business, doesn't check their doors? Think about it. If you had a restaurant, if you had a store, if you had something like that, you would get up, you would have a routine, a thing that you did that had nothing to do
with whether you liked your employees or not. But you all
I come in, I check the doors.
You try to establish a culture within the restaurant so that you would want patrons to come back.
Exactly.
You're establishing a culture and a legacy.
And a legacy.
Teach.
And that does not have to, it can be partnership, but it doesn't have to mean like, oh, we are so romantic. That's another thing that you can deal with. But while you are partnered with someone, just remember, there's a culture you're building. When you're talking about building legacy, at least allow your children to say, well, mom and dad didn't, but they didn't get to stay together, but they were always kind to each other. They seemed to, they tried.
So you looking to establish, a good culture in your home, and you want to have a lively, thriving relationship and communication between one another and the children. Even if you don't feel like it, practice the civility. What the people say?
Naomi.
Hey, Naomi.
That's my sister over there. Well, she's from Kenya, but she's up there in wherever she's Netherlands. Where are you, Naomi, today?
Tell us.
My mom always said, anoint your man, bless him before he leaves the home. And even when they had their own issues, it was for us to always remember he was and will always be your dad.
Wow.
Bottom line.
That's right.
I love that. Thank you, sis.
I wanted to say something on that. We get upset.
Netherlands. Thank you. Netherlands.
We get upset with the dads. We get upset with the moms, and then we disrespect and put them down. But we have to realize that we're still human.
Yeah.
Let's continue to practice the civility and not pass on those destructive habits.
And she also said, or if you walk into the room, you greet people.
Come on.
Exactly. So how are we walking into places, walking in after work, walking in doing this, and we're not modeling. These are. As my husband always points out, these are African principles. These are things that we've done. This is culturally what we do. And so for us to just act as if, well, it's because of whatever, that's not how we do. That's not what we've ever done. And when we stop teaching these fundamental things, but then we say our goal is to build legacy, we are contradicting ourselves.
Come on now, you talk.
You will go into your office or your place and say, good morning, everybody.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do with, I love these people in this place. No, it doesn't have to do with that.
It's not only a respect for life, but it's a responsibility as a human. What else? Oh, Sarah, what did she say?
Sarah says, this reminds me of something we figured out a few years ago. My husband would ask me what I was doing. I thought can't you see that I'm working? He was trying to connect and asking how I was doing. I wanted him to communicate. We were just not realizing we wanted the same thing. We just were speaking two languages, and they were two different languages, right? My response changed once we figured that out. Thank you so much. It's so true.
It is. It's the simple things. We don't have to get deep about it. We don't have to like one another, but just the common decency of saying good morning or good night.
We miss you too, Sarah Anna.
We miss you, Sarah.
We just
it's
wanted
not
to.
Deep. It's
not
terrifically hard.
Exactly.
You're not going to see. I guess we confuse that whole thing about love and relationship in the home, that we always have to see stars or have to see
and feel butterflies,
the butterflies and things of that nature. But if we just practice just common civility, just common decency, respect, love.
One thing that we always have practiced and we've always said is there should not be people out in the street that get treated better than the people that are in our home. And we lived by that.
That's like you going and open the door for someone else, and then your wife comes and you go in and let the door close. Okay? Whether it's your wife or not, it could be an elderly person, and you let the door close behind you, but you felt like not holding for them. I mean, or at least holding it so somebody else can catch the door for them. Just the common decency and respect. We're talking about indigenous principles and practices that were practiced by our ancestors and other people's ancestors. So we're talking about our African culture as being Africans, of things that.
But these are things that allow cultures to survive throughout time, and many of us are living in very individualistic cultures, very independent cultures, and we can look around and see how society has changed and all of those things, but are we looking at the things that we can control in our own homes, the things that we can directly influence in our own home? We allow those things sometimes to just fade and to go and all those things, and we don't fight for them. And we're just saying, hey, just start where you are. Start right there in the home. Start saying, yes, baby.
Sarah said I needed a Drea preaching day. Naomi said decorum. Care about the person
next, near, and around
you. Thank you, Naomi.
Watch your finger because you're going to go in front of the camera.
Okay, go ahead. Turn. Is it any more comments?
I think that's it. So, was there anything else you wanted to say?
I think that was about it.
Sum it up for him. Listen.
We wanted this. One of the things we wanted to concentrate on this particular segment is that if you're considering building legacy, with power, consider the simple things of establishing a decorum, like Norma said, or a civility.
I was just saying. I'm sorry.
Or civility, by just thinking about those indigenous practices and principles that our ancestors, our grandparents, that taught us about, just saying good morning, saying good night, letting people know where you're leaving. It's just. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this one. I mentioned before, like the business. Who would have a business and not go to the back of the store, make sure the door was still closed and not ajar? Who would just come in? When we come into our homes, we told a couple this, and I'm gonna say this to some of us because we're all whatever. We're coming into our homes and we're in whatever spaces and not acknowledging the people in the house. We're older now. And so our generation, we're not these 20s where you come in and it doesn't matter. There could be someone in need in your home. There could be someone hurt in your home. There could be something happening in your home. I'm just going to say it. How shameful and I apologize. No, I'm not going to apologize. It is shameful for us to leave our homes, to leave places, to not say the condition is well. This is a place where you should know, when I left, all was well. And I just encourage us to be about that. We have our ideas about what life should be like, and we want to feel butterflies all the time. That's not going to happen. But besides all that, we are still building legacy because our children are watching us.
Teach.
There are people out there that we don't know are watching us that are watching us. And so we still need to be doing that thing. Focused on that thing.
Andrea, that's real talk, because we get caught up in our individual own lives. We get upset and not really care. But we have a responsibility, especially as parents, to check the energy levels in our home.
Exactly.
And to make sure that everybody's doing operating at a certain energy level that builds rather
Exactly.
than destructs. And not only inside the home, but around the home.
Exactly.
You
The
just like-
perimeter of your, I mean, come on. This is what we've been entrusted with. And we don't know what's going on.
So we have to really consider transferring our energy, that of not only being concerned with ourselves, but being responsible
Yeah.
of considering the energy that flows in, out, and around our homes as we build legacy.
And one more note. We know that teenagers are something else to deal with. And I hear all the time, well, you know, they whatever age now, so you know they don't want this, they don't want that. And I just leave them alone. They don't need you to leave them alone, especially not now.
That's right.
Okay, this is when they really need you, because they need to know that when all of this that's coming and they're making these transferences in their mind and understanding different things about life, they need to understand that your consistency. Can you be consistent?
And that's why
when everything around them is shifting and their hormones are making them see the world a different way. Can you be consistent? Can you try to hold and establish and continue to establish that same pattern?
And if you're tired and you need a break, and you might not be able to speak at that teenager at that particular moment in time, because you feel that you might say something or do something wrong. That's the purpose of having uncles and nephews and people next door and mentors, for to continue to keep those words of that positive energy and correction coming forward at that young person's life, because it is so necessary. I mean, I've said it. I've came to my wife and said, you know what, I give up, or you know what, I quit, or I'll just get quiet and not say anything. And she says, no, you're not. No, you're not. Get yourself together. So.
Me? Okay, Naomi said, and I'm off to bed now. It's almost 1 a.m. Keep preaching. We need these reminders, and ancestors are dancing where they are. I love her so much. Revive, and we're going to reclaim it back. We owe it to our offspring. Love you both. That is a perfect way to end it. We love you all too. Thanks for being here with us. Continue to build, you all. Continue to build, and let's just teach civility in our home. Let's be the examples that we want our children to emulate. Mwah!
Love you. Bye.
Bye.